This perp back with another video, and I finally just got done watching Pearl. This is the prequel to the movie X that came out back in March, and I think A24 and Ty West have just pulled off the impossible. But before I get into this review, I should have made a video about this months ago as far as how they're laying out these movies and how they're going to pretty much play out this trilogy. So the third movie that they just announced before this movie came out was going to be Maxine, and I had that prediction, and I have people that could vouch for me because I said that they're going to do Pearl, X, Maxine, and that's how the trilogy was going to go. And man, I can't wait because that's going to take place in 85. But let's talk about this movie because this has everything. This is all about Pearl. That's the character that we get introduced to in the first movie, X. You know, that's the old couple and the house that they go to. And to kind of get that backstory was fascinating. Maya Goth is amazing, bro. She is an amazing actress. The actress also that played her mom gave one of the dopest scenes. There's this scene, I'm not gonna spoil nothing, I don't want to spoil the ending or anything like that, because this is a really, really dope movie. I had a lot of fun with this. The way that it's shot, it kind of uses that old school kind of filming, you know what I'm saying? And even I think they tweaked the sound a bit and whatnot to kind of make it sound like kind of old fashioned, you know what I'm saying? I just really dig the bright, vibrant colors. But man, talk about a prequel, man. This was, I didn't know what to expect walking into it. I was just all for it. It just seems so abrupt, yo, not even waiting a year, we're getting a prequel, the follow-up, you know, months later. It's just incredible just what they've done with this movie and just what they've done with Pearl's character. And you definitely see the parallels between Pearl's character and Maxine's character, which I cannot wait to see where they take her character, because diving into Pearl's character, and this takes place in the 1918, which that's right about the time where World War One ended. And I like how that plays a factor and how it kind of reflects onto modern day, where there was kind of a sickness going around at that time, and that's damn near 100 years ago, bro. That's crazy that it's kind of I don't know. It's really dope parallels, and just the whole theme of sex and horror goes really well with just how they're setting up these movies, and how Pearl has this desire of being a star, very similar to Maxine. And I'm wondering if we're going to kind of get into that cult a little bit more in Maxine, because I feel like that's a thing. Maybe they just want to have that in the background, and I don't know, because I thought that was going to play more of a part in this movie. But this is just pretty much setting up Pearl's character and just seeing her desires or her wants out of life. But she's stuck at this farm, and the farm is really kind of her kind of horror story. It's her prison. She just feels lonely, and it makes more sense now looking back at X and just seeing how all those events played out and why Pearl kind of snapped. She's always kind of been out of it, you know what I'm saying? She's always had that murderous tendencies. She just kind of teased with it a little bit, but it just took a little bit of push, a little bit of a push to kind of take her over the edge and take it up a notch. And it's interesting too, because you get to see a lot of characters that you didn't know exist. You get to see Howard's other side of the family and whatnot, which was really interesting. But I really like the dynamic between Pearl and her mother, because her mother is very strict and also is German, which is kind of interesting little detail. And she's very strict, and she's also she's really bitter, just in she's just bitter because of the circumstances that she's in as well. She feels also trapped here, but she knows for a very long time that there's something off with Pearl, but she was always just trying to be a mother to her. You know what I'm saying? But she coddled her too much, to the point where she's a grown-ass woman in this movie. I thought she was like kind of a teenager, but no, she's already married and stuff like that. But her having to come back to the farm to take care of her family because her father is also kind of like in a wheelchair, incapacitated and whatnot, and it's just a struggle. But she has these temptations that her mother doesn't like, and that's where you kind of get a lot of different things here. I got a lot of different vibes. I got Psycho vibes, like Norman Bates, and Norman Bates like his mom. I got that kind of I got that type of vibe. Also, the way that Pearl was acting is very Kathy Bates-ish from like Misery. The way she could just snap out of like at anything. Like she just, man. Mia Goth just did a fucking phenomenal job just with this movie. She just took it up another level. I honestly think that she deserves to get like an Oscar nomination. She just gave an award-winning like performance in this movie, man, and just the way it's shot, man, it's beautiful, bro. It's a beautiful film to look at, and it's very gory when it needs to be. It doesn't need to be overly violent. It doesn't need to be overly sexualized or nothing like that. It's very toned down, but it's still effective. Like the way that certain shots are made, or the way that you see them play out, I just keep going back to that scene of Pearl and her mom talking, and it's a thunderstorm, and all you see is Pearl's eyes. Like you see her eyes, but then when you cut to her mom, it's completely blacked out. And I love that shit. When you get to see it, it's amazing, and just how you see her descent into just kind of the person that we get to meet in X. It just comes all together really well, and I can't wait to see how they play out the rest of this trilogy, because I definitely think that the X trilogy has potential to be the best horror trilogy of all time, and it's incredible what they've pulled off with this movie. To me, I had a blast with it. I definitely would recommend checking this out. This is definitely one of the top movies that I've seen thus far this year. Where does it land on my letterbox, or just in my my top movies of the year? You're gonna have to wait to see my letterbox update. But let me know how you guys feel about this movie. If you got around to seeing this movie, do you prefer this movie, Pearl, or X? Let me know. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.